Once again here on 2nd and 10. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Slants are so tough to cover because everything happens so fast. But sometimes it happens too fast for the guy catching the ball because all of his movements have to be quick off the line of scrimmage, and then all of a sudden the ball's right on top of you. And maybe he got a little bit ahead of himself there.
Yeah, a lot of times coming in with good pace, and he dropped it. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his second of the game. Instead, 4th down.
I know ultimately that feels like a good defensive play, but I know it's really not. They had a chance to keep points off the board. Now they have a chance to kick a field goal by missing that shot.
Yeah, especially at this spot in the field. He's got to be upset he couldn't come up with that INT. And Sturgis able to knock it through, and they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So a field goal here, they're still down, but they put a dent into that lead before the break.
And that's got to feel good because now they've seen that they can put some more points on the board, and that gives them a whole second half to get back to where they want to be, and that's in the lead.
And it's a short kick, taken right around the 19.
Illegal block in the back. Return team. Automatic first down.
The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it.
And this is going to be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. And they'll start this drive with very good field position. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points. How many times when we see...
And Wentz not going to take the snap here. Instead, he turns and calls a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Wentz will try again on second down. Looking for Aguilar, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Final play of the half. It's Wilson trying to lay one up deep. And the defense loses him. It's complete. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we will send you... Well, that came a little abruptly here. Still working on my apple up in the booth. Hang on here. Let me spit this out. And we can get to the third quarter now. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
Big mistake here by the kicker, kicking it out of bounds.
The one that drives coaches crazy. Keep it in the field of play and let your guys cover.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. He's going to take another shot here. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. A great read, and it's picked off. And he'll bring it all the way back just a yard or 2 shy of midfield. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Let's look ahead for a quick minute. We don't have the schedules yet for next year, but what we do have are the 5 international games that will be played, 4 in London and then 1 again in Mexico. Jacksonville, Baltimore, Miami, New Orleans, Cleveland, Minnesota, Rams, and Arizona. Those in London, and then Mexico's going to get a great game. The Raiders and New England.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And just think about the ones in London. Remember, they're splitting them between the 2 different stadiums in London, so they get a different flavor in all of these places. But Mexico, for the 2nd straight year, the Raiders are coming to town. That should be a whole lot of fun.
Should be a ton of fun and a very good matchup. Now Wentz. And that is incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zach Ertz that time. Now 4th down.
But no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
And they're going to try this again. It's another fake. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line. Charles, when plays like that work, it's a thing to behold, but sometimes we see why they're very deep in the playbook.
And how many times have we been at practice and heard all the other guys chirping about, you know, I used to play quarterback in high school, I can do this, until it becomes a game situation. Not quite the same in many cases.
Complete out right to Kurz. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. That one goes for 36 yards. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged, because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike. I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise.
And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Jermaine Kurz, a 12-yard touchdown grab. And the interception by the Seahawks D leads to a touchdown. And Charles, the defender, was there. He just didn't get it.
Sometimes these plays turn into basketball in a sense, with 2 guys going up for the football. Which guy's going to box the other away from it and grab it?
Yeah, I know you hear it a lot, but it's just the will to get it, right?
Oh, without a doubt. The will, as well as some really nice touch on the ball that was thrown.
And some talent, too. Stephen Hauschka for the point after. Oh, and it's a fake. They'll try and throw for it. And they don't get it. They tried for the 2-point conversion there, but unsuccessful. They've got this big lead. They said, forget 1. We want 2. Instead, they got 0.
Unbelievable they didn't even attempt it from the 15-yard line. What are they thinking? I do know this. When you fake one in this situation with that type of a lead, especially from the 15-yard line, oh, boy. I tell you what, meeting them again somewhere down the line, they'll remember this. Yeah, they'll think that they were trying to clown them a little bit.
And Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go,
And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn 1 here in this 3rd quarter. So the incomplete pass brings up 2nd down. Back to the air on 2nd down. Wentz. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Pass interference. Offense.
Little jostling there, but it's going to be the offense that gets the penalty flag for interference. Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Deshaun Shedd. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
I tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his second interception of the game. And so much of playing defense in the NFL, especially when it comes to defending the pass, is all about positioning and technique. And this is fantastic work on both fronts there.
We put our attention now on the Eagles' defense. And with this deficit, let's be honest, it's time for them to get a stop.
And partners, you understand very well from our time together and visiting with coaches, defensive coordinators tend to be a little more emotional, a little more high-strung than others.
They are.
I have a feeling that speech came out about taking a stand and bowing up in this possession.
Yeah, that's where this word pride comes out, right?
In a big way.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Malcolm Jenkins. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the 3rd quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
The Eagles coming out as they get ready. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. And he went in route there from the slot for the completion.
Love how he runs his routes because it's all setting up your defender. Give him a little something.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
All right, Brandon. Normally when you hear about guys making 2 interceptions in the game, you're thinking, must be a free safety, maybe a corner. How about getting 2 picks out of one of your linebackers? Again, he's just in the right place at the right time. And that's another great play to come away with the football.
And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see, do they rely. And my goodness, another interception. It's the linebacker, Michael Kendricks. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Looking left sideline, incomplete. Matthews the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down. CD, wanted to get your thoughts just on the landscape of the offseason for each of these teams. Super Bowl in the rearview mirror, but so much going on. People look at the draft a lot, but there's a lot more that goes into the offseason for these front offices, is there not?
It certainly is, and then even before we get to the draft, you start.
And now here's another interception. A great read, and it's picked off. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little.
And my goodness, another interception. It's the linebacker, Michael Kendricks. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line.
I tell you, you don't have press conferences when you sign guys like this. But he's been a real difference maker so far. That's now 2 interceptions for him in the game. And when you're getting contributions up and down your 53-man roster, you're going to be all right.
And now here's another interception. Picked off by Deshaun Shedd. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman.
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
With the Eagles.
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it was against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. Flush to his right. And not wanting to take a shot out of the pocket, he tucks it and goes down.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by the veteran Leotis McKelvin. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. And out now come the Eagles. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Get the quarterback.
And now here is another interception. Picked off by the all-pro free safety, Earl Thomas. The number 7 usually lucky here. Not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he had won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer, the last to do it in 2001, to throw 7 picks.
And that's why you do all the drills that you do from the quarterback position, because you're not going to just throw to your strength. The right-handed quarterback naturally will want to move to the right.
Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Seahawks with the possession. They also have the lead here as we get set for the 4th and final quarter.
Single receiver. Hey, you're in an island over there. Single receiver.
Now Wilson on 2nd down. His throw incomplete.
In most pass defenses, the guy playing safety has the ability to roam free and try and go to the football. But when you're in man, you've got to cover just like a guy playing out on the corner. Lock up on the receiver and go to the football. That's exactly what he did, batting that one away. And on 3rd and 3, they decided to go with a dime package.
Yeah.
6 DBs.
Yeah, you're right. They've got 6 out there. He finds his man, Baldwin. A pickup of 5 that time and a first down.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And that will be caught, but out of bounds. Out of bounds, ruled incomplete here.
I think he might have been a little bit too focused on turning upfield.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player. You threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th.
To me, that's a superior play by the backer because he was allowed to, I think, run free on it and make that play. His defensive linemen, they covered things down for him because offensive guys.
And look at this. It's a fake. He can't bring him down.
The weight room does work.
It's a loss of 10 yards on the play.
Anytime a fake doesn't work, we usually focus our attention on the guys that were unsuccessful. But how about the defensive guys? They have to plan all week. They have to prepare all week. Special teams, they look like they were educated for that one.
Educated on their toes and getting a big stop. He's going to try and go deep again. And that will be incomplete. Looked like it might have been intercepted, but he's out of bounds. And a good thing, too, probably. That would have cost him yardage. And now they'll get the ball back on the turnover on downs. Well, interceptions have been a problem in this one. If he could have gotten his feet down here, it would have been another.
Would have been a huge one. They've had a great game taking the ball away. Thought they had another one, just unable to get those cleats in bounds.
This one complete left side to Green Beckham. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. And my goodness, another interception. A great read, and it's picked off. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. So there you go, holding by the offense, and that'll push them back.
Changes everything now as you try and figure out what your playbook has for you. Longer yardage situations, tougher to execute and pick up first downs.
On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. And now here's another interception. Picked off by the all-pro free safety, Earl Thomas. So oftentimes you see defensive holding. Here it's offensive holding for the flag. From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. He's going to go up top again. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Now Wentz, got to have this one. Green Beckham has it over the middle. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. Well, they've clearly made a conscious decision here to be more aggressive in the late stages of this game here in the second half.
And I get it. In this situation, if you want to be aggressive out in your midfield, you feel good about your defense maybe, or just, hey, I thought I had a proper play call. But how about the guys that just stopped them? How good do they feel right now? You want to go for it here? We shut you down. They're over on the bench right now feeling great. Partner, there are times when I feel a little bit guilty about offering some criticism because I see the thought process here, trying to bounce it outside and gain some yardage. But every now and then you got to think ahead and just take your medicine. Go down. Don't give up anymore.
They'll come out in the pistol on 2nd down. Rawls. And he coughs up the football near his own goal line. And this will be scooped up in the end zone. The defender gets there, and it's a touchdown. This defense, Charles, they needed some type of a spark to help get them back in this game. I think they just got their spark.
No doubt about it. That's all they discussed. How can we get ourselves moving again? How can we get our team going? This definitely qualifies.
Wentz going to look to throw. And no, it falls incomplete. So the 2-point conversion, no good. They had the big play on the fumble return. They were looking for the 1-2 punch, but they couldn't get that 2-point conversion.
And I have to wonder, were they scheduled to go ahead and kick the extra point, but after a play like that, you talk about the 1-2 punch, right? It's a momentum play. Go for 2 and really try to capitalize, and that's what they attempted.
They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Seattle now ready to march out of the field. The drive begins with a run by Rawls. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line.
Holding offense.
On 2nd down, here's Wilson. He stays up. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Brandon Graham coming hard that time. He's able to run him down for a loss of 12. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out. after this.
Hey. Go down.
So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a third down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. Here's Wilson to throw, and he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on fourth. Now Wilson. He's got a man complete. And he takes this one just shy of midfield all the way to the 49.
And they pick up the first down on a fourth down play. I don't know if the defense relaxed because they thought maybe they'd stopped them on third down or if they just didn't protect the sticks very well. But, boy, that's a big-time pickup right there.
And now a first down following that long gain. Oh, Wilson going to throw. Complete out right to Kurz. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
He was trying to get it to Jermaine Kurz. That'll bring up second down.
A missed opportunity for an interception would have killed off a drive. They had a chance there to finish things off. Didn't get it done. I guess that's why a lot of those guys do not play offense.
Second and 10 now. Wilson steps away to his left. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. A great read, and it's picked off. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They've got two more to use here in the final stages. Obviously a tough spot here. They need a lot of luck to win this game, but still a small chance.
They've got to make sure they get the ball to the sidelines, get out of bounds, preserve clock.
So after the INT, here's Wentz. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. He was looking for Matthews that time, and it's second down.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
Now Wentz. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by the Pro Bowl safety Cam Chancellor. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. With that interception, he just set a record that nobody ever wants to set, and that's the most picks ever in an NFL game. Eight.
The last time we saw 7, 2001, right?
Yeah, Ty Detmer.
He's with the Lions at that time. To get to 8, are we sure he knows what color jerseys his team's wearing in this one?
I don't know. It has not been good. So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. Second down and 10.
Well, partner, I think the defensive fellas got the memo, and they decided to cover him on that play.
Yeah, he's already up over 100 yards. This is caught inside the 15. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Jermaine Kurz, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the interception by the Seahawks D leads to a touchdown.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Stephen Hauschka for the point after. Oh, my goodness. This is nowhere close. Well to the right and no good. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And not a particularly good return here as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Matthews the intended target, and that'll bring up second down.
And that incompletion was caused by the defense. I think they were trying to get one into the middle of the field, trying to find a receiver there. But they were in zone defense. And what are the advantages of being in zone? Eyes and reaction. Eyes meaning all eyes are on the quarterback and able to react when he throws the football and rally to that spot. And that's exactly what happened there. Able to get there and knock it away.
And he can't hang on. He had a good shot there for his third pick of the game. Instead, it's third down. Offense trying to avoid stalling out, facing a 3rd and 10.
While an incomplete pass certainly doesn't look like a good play, for the guy throwing it today, as many interceptions he's thrown, he's got to feel silent.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Deshaun Shedd. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. And give him now 4 interceptions in this game. That's only the 3rd time this has been done since the year 2000.
I think that tells you how much better teams have gotten at throwing the football. Because if you go all the way back to 1960, 12 times before that, there have been guys who've gotten 4 interceptions or more in a game. I mean, most recently, since 2000, Delta O'Neal and D'Angelo Hall.
Seattle now ready to march out of the field. 2 timeouts remaining defensively, but that shouldn't make much difference right here.
It really shouldn't, but a lot of coaches look at it similar to baseball with the intentional walk.
Always bringing in other sports.
Always, hey, listen, think about the intentional walk, right? What if one gets past the catcher? What if he uncorks a wild one and now you still have an opportunity? That's why they like to use them all the way through.
Dancing to his left. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock.
Well, to say that this has not been his game is probably a big understatement. I mean, he is all over the place. Mechanics are off, not accurate, except if you're playing on defense because they picked off a good number of passes.
Yeah, all the INTs, but they're throwing it off his back for pressure coming, just chucking it downfield. He can't do that right now.
No, you can't do that at all. And I think one of the hardest things for a guy having a day like this one is to find a way to just kind of get out of it, kind of get yourself back to neutral. Because what you try and do is make even more spectacular plays to make up for it, and it usually leads to more bad ones.
The offense staying out there. They look prepared to go here on 4th and 10. They're going on 4th down. It's Wilson. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And this will be caught. Well, forget taking the knee. Some late gamesmanship here as they throw for a late touchdown. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other...
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And this one incomplete. It doesn't matter. We have our final score. They had already...